You are watching ESPN Cricket Info Match Day, brought to you by Maruti Suzuki. Has been a recurring theme in this test series so far. Cheteshwar Pujara, Virat Kohli get you the run, and then you got Nathan Lyon, Jasprit Bumrah come and take all the wickets. And the other recurring theme has been the Australian tail has been wagging. That is exactly what is happening at the moment, courtesy of which this test match has gone into the fifth day. At the moment, 258 for 8 is where Australia find themselves, still short by 141 run as far as the target of 399 concerned. It's that one man, Pat Cummins for Australia, getting them the runs, getting them the wickets. Joining me, VVS Lakshman in the studio, and joining me live from Australia, Brad Hodge. Brad, I've just gotten to know it's your 44th birthday. Apologies for making you work on your birthday, but I guess a draw, or who knows, maybe even a win, that'd be a great 44th birthday gift for you for Australia.
Yeah, it would be. And the way Paddy Cummins is playing, we're still in the chance. He's playing as good as anyone in our top 6 at the moment. So you never know. You just never know.
Okay, I hate to make you the weatherman once again. Today rain was expected. That didn't quite happen. But I believe tomorrow it's not looking great as far as the forecast is concerned. And that's not great news for the Indian fans.
No, it's not. But it's not consistent rain. It's only showers. So the thing is, this Melbourne Cricket Ground has got such an amazing drying capacity that as soon as it stops raining, you're out there in about 5 minutes. Just run a rope around and that won't be an issue. It's not like England in Lancashire where if there's any form of rain, it just rains all day. This is it'll be flash showers and nothing to worry about, I don't think, to the Indian captains.
Okay, either way, you're going to get a result. That means intermittent showers is what is expected at the MCG tomorrow. VVS Lakshman here. VVS, is it too early for me to use those words, Eden Gardens 2001?
Well, I don't think so that it's possible, but I think in cricket, like in life, if suppose someone shows a character, someone shows that fight, anything is possible, and what Pat Cummins has shown, not to himself, but more so to the batsman, is on this wicket, if you commit yourself and show the fight, and you look to play on the front foot, always look to get into position to play the full ball, transferring the body weight, but more importantly, the grit, the determination. I think it's difficult to be out. And here is a player who's bowled his heart out in both the innings, tired, fielded well, and then he's come and he's fought it out for his country and for his team. So such kind of performances will inspire his teammates, and I'm hoping that the batting unit, who are specialist batsmen or talented batsmen compared to Pat Cummins, can learn from the grit and determination and the approach of Pat Cummins.
Okay, for those of you watching us on YouTube as well as Facebook, please keep those questions coming. I'll try to put those questions to VVS Lakshman and Brad Hodge. But Brad, the most obvious question anyone would ask looking at Pat Cummins' bat, why can't the Australian top order do exactly what he's doing there?
Well, a couple of reasons, I guess. Maybe just aptitude and determination, which Paddy is showing, but also technique. I think technically Tim Paine and Paddy Cummins look like they had the best defensive technique in that Australian lineup. So it's a bit of an issue, but they've shown what's required. I mean, VVS has been very strong about this all through this test match, that you have to have a good defensive mechanism to survive test cricket day 4 and day 5. That's when it's the toughest. So they've shown it, and he's been able to keep the good balls out and also punish the bad balls. So it's a simple method, but effective. And I think that if the Australian top order don't watch this, don't take note of this and get courage from this, then they haven't watched a superstar perform in this match as Pat Cummins has done.
Right, it's not incorrect to call Pat Cummins a tail-ender. He is at the moment predominantly a bowler, but the way he's batting, you got to give credit to him. It doesn't look like a tail-ender, it looks like a proper
batsman. None of them except Hazlewood, and I think if you talk about Pat Cummins, you talk about Nathan Lyon and Mitchell Starc. They've got the technique of a proper batsman. The basic technique is intact, and the application of a batsman is visible in the way they approach their innings. While Mitchell Starc is someone who's probably more aggressive in nature compared to Nathan Lyon and Pat Cummins, I think both of them have shown great technique. And it's surprising that Brad says that Tim Paine's and Pat Cummins' technique, but someone batting at number 7 and number 8 is superior to some of the top order batsmen, and that itself shows the lack of depth in Australia as far as the batting is concerned. But we discussed this so many times. The technique is sometimes given too much of credit, too much of importance. What is clear with the way Pat Cummins has showed, Tim Paine has showed in this series, and so has Nathan Lyon, is if you got the will to fight, if you got the will to survive, nothing is impossible. And that will, unfortunately, was not visible when the top order batsmen were batting, including Usman Khawaja. You saw him, being over aggressive, but not once did we see Pat Cummins trying to be over aggressive. He was just playing on the merit of the ball which deserved to be respected. He was respecting, and wherever the opportunity arose, he capitalized on that.
Pat Cummins, superhuman you'd call him. He's picking up those wickets, getting all those runs. If he was probably playing for a team that was about to win a test match, he'd clearly be the man of the match as well. We're getting a lot of comments on Pat Cummins' performance and the way he's been outstanding with both the bat and the ball. Rohan is of the opinion, what a day for Cummins. Legend in the making is what he is talking about. Brad, I know not plenty of credit is given to Pat Cummins, even as a bowler. Whenever you look at the leader of the pack, it's Mitchell Starc. He's not even looked at as a batsman, but is he a legend in the making, as Rohan puts it there?
Oh, you can't throw that word legend out there too easily, but he's certainly getting there. Boomer himself and also Patrick Cummins have probably been the outstanding bowlers, in this series so far. Just the Herculean efforts and the ability to take wickets on all sorts of wickets, but also with the bat. And John Buchanan was probably the leader. We were trying to work out when that happened, and he was probably the one which gave more net time to the latter order to make sure that they get runs. And it's one thing which is carried on in the tradition of the Australian tail enders, that runs are important and it's valuable to be able to contribute to the team. But he'll certainly be in legendary status, there's no doubt, if he can stay fit. Patrick Cummins, he looks like a 300, 400, 500 test wicket bowler.
Okay, fans often get carried away using that word very, very loosely as far as the word legend is concerned. But just as Brad put it there, he may be a legend in the making, not quite there yet. Yes, with good performances, that could happen. We're getting more questions from YouTube, and we're staying with the subject of Pat Cummins. Can Cummins bat up the order? VVS, we were talking about, can the top order learn from him, but what about a simple method of pushing him up there?
I think Tim Paine, for a start, can bat up the order. So can Pat Cummins, and I think, but then who is going to take the workload as far as bowling is concerned? If you expect a bowler who's bowling his heart out, he's bowling a lot of overs, especially someone like Pujara batting for so many balls, and these guys are bowling a lot of overs in a day's play. You can't expect him to bat at 6 or 7, but he definitely has got the technique and the temperament to bat at 6, at 7. But I think when you see the entire combination of the team, you can't expect a frontline bowler to bat as high as probably 6 or 7. So this is the right batting lineup. There's depth in this Australian batting lineup. But I think the top order batsman should take the responsibility and start scoring more runs consistently.
It's as if to say that let's get Hanuma Vihari to pick all the wickets for India, isn't it? Similar to that. Okay, because we're looking at the performance of the Australian tailenders, let's also look at the Indian bowlers' performance. And have they been doing this sort of bowling not just to the Australian tailenders, but generally to lower order batsmen? And this is the poorest bowling average versus lower order batsmen in Test cricket in 2018 across all the Test matches. And if you take a look at that, India ranks quite high up there with 17.17. Now, clearly there is we're heaping praise on the Australian low order, but clearly there seems to be a problem with the Indian bowling too.
Yeah, but we cannot fault them today. In the past we've discussed this, that when they're bowling to the low order batsmen, I think the discipline and the plans which they were executing successfully against the top order batsmen suddenly go haywire. They try to do too many things, try to always look for a wicket. In the bargain, they also concede runs and allow the opposition batting lineup to build a partnership. And nowadays, there's not many teams which doesn't have depth in their batting lineup. A lot of bowlers whose first skill set is bowling, but they know also how to bat. So I think today, I didn't see too much of experimentation. And today I think we have to give credit to Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon for the way they have applied themselves.
Okay, so since you're saying today the Indian
Yeah.
bowlers were on the mark as far as bowling to tail-enders is concerned, could it then be tiredness of bowling
Yes,
that much?
off air, in fact, we were talking that they look tired. They look tired, especially the fast bowlers. And I was a little surprised again with the overs distribution of workload. I just felt that Jasprit Bumrah bowled a lot more overs. Yes, he was very effective and he was the one bowler who looked to pick up wickets. But then I think when you got Ishant Sharma, you got Shami also. I think the overs has to be distributed in a smart way. And when someone like Vihari comes and bowls, I think the sign is very clear that the fast bowlers deserve rest. So I felt that they were definitely tired as during the fag end of the day.
Okay, because I'm getting a lot of questions on the follow-on also,
Yeah.
but you're of the opinion that this
Absolutely.
actually vindicates your stand. Would you
Yes.
like to explain?
Yeah, absolutely. And if you ask India to score even 120, 140
Now.
in the last innings, I think it would be tough, keeping in mind that the wicket can be up and down. So, and Indian bowlers had already bowled 67 overs in the first innings, and for them to come and again bowl, and you never know with a team like Australia or any international team, if they show the grit and determination just like the way Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon have shown, they could play another 100 overs. So the effectiveness of a bowling unit, if they take a break, even if that means that it's a break of say 2 or 3 hours and the overnight sleep, will make them fresh and will make them more effective than probably if they were continued to bowl yesterday. So I definitely feel that was the right decision not to give a follow on, because batting fourth on this wicket will always be more challenging than batting third.
Okay, so for those of you who were asking about the follow-on or had opinion about the follow-on, here is VVS's answer why the Indian team did the right thing, whatever they did at that time. Also, people asking about the weather, that is something Brad Hodge has already answered, saying that yes, you will get showers, but it's not going to continue throughout the day, so you're going to get plenty of overs bowled on day 5 as well. Okay, let's take some more questions coming in from both Facebook as well as YouTube. This is Ankur. Was taking the new ball a correct decision?
Absolutely. I mean, it was a no-brainer, because with 3 quick bowlers, the effectiveness using a new ball, a hard ball with a protruded seam is always going to be much better than using a whole ball, because Kookaburra ball, unlike Duke's, can get very soft quickly, and also the seam, which is protruded and very much evident with the new ball, gets submerged, and the effectiveness with a new ball can make, and the impact with a new ball can make, you not get with the old ball. So that was a right ploy. And anyway, not only the situation Team India was today, whenever in Australia or in overseas condition the new ball is available, any captain will take until unless it's reversing big time.
Okay, another question here, and I'll throw that to Brad, because we were talking about why the tail is batting so well. Have you also noticed that the pitch, I mean, we were talking about the pitch would have been tough, then it became really difficult on a certain day. Today seems slightly better for batting?
I think it's been good for batting, most of the time. There's only been a few that's gone up and down, and generally I think that if you're positive on this wicket and you have a positive mindset, then you'll be, if you've got a good mindset, you'll be good in defence, but you also punish the bad ball. So, not really. Tim Payne has looked comfortable. He's got a good technique, but also, mindset. Some of the Australian players was just off a little bit. But I think if you're positive, it's been pretty flat most of the time. So, it's shown today that you can easily score 3.5 and over if you want to be positive about your cricket.
I'm guessing we're getting too many pitch questions because of what they saw on day 3, and then India 108 for 8, and then you have Australia now scored 250. Do you also feel the common consensus here that the pitch is going to sleep a bit?
Even yesterday, if you see when we gave the marks for the wicket, on the
Yeah.
second day I gave probably 3 or 5, but yesterday I gave 8, because I
Correct.
didn't see anything happening yesterday compared to the first day and the second day, where there was uneven bounce and there was rough, of course, for Ravindra Jadeja when he was bowling to the left-hand batsman. But even yesterday, yes, India lost 5 wickets, but then none of them were through the wicket. It was good bowling when Pat Cummins got rid of Vihari, and then Rohit Sharma got out, and then 3 wickets were down the ground. I mean, on the leg side, with Pujara and Virat getting out in that fashion, and Ajinkya Rahane going to pull a delivery which was not going to be harmful. So I think the wicket has played well. Even today, not even one wicket which the bowlers got was anything to do because of the pitch.
Okay, plenty more questions coming in. We'll take one. This is for Brad Hodge from Facebook. Vishal wants to know, do you think there are too many lefties at top of the order in the Australian team? Should they mix it up, seeing Indians are facing more?
Well, not really. I mean, at the moment, this is the best crop of batsmen that the selectors have chosen. So you've got to be able to adapt whether you're a left or right-hand bowler. You know, I mean, if you're a lefty, you'd be pretty happy with the Ashwin, but we've also seen that Jadeja has been just as effective against the left-handers. So I think it's more the adaptability, and the plans of the Indian bowling unit have been outstanding. They've been very strict on operating around the wicket for the left-handers, so they can't score on both sides of the wicket. And the spinners have also been very effective against the left and right-handers as well. So I think it's just more of a case of our batters haven't been good enough, whether they've been left or right, and the Indian bowling unit has been able to adapt really well, and they've planned and executed with distinction.
Okay, we'll take another question from YouTube. This one is addressed to VVS Lakshman, and Sukrit wants to know, do you think we overuse Bumrah today? He seemed very tired by the end of the day, something that you've already answered.
And it was very evident. You know, I can understand. And this used to be the case when Javagal Srinath used to play, and there were not many bowlers who were supporting him. And this was in 1990s, you know, and late 1990s as well. So,
but that's not the case now, because
exactly,
you've got Shami,
and that's why I'm surprised, you know, because now you got three quick bowlers who are bowling consistently above 140 clicks, you know, and who can exploit the conditions, who hit the deck hard, and who are in good rhythm. So I think it was very important to rotate them. Yes, Bumrah has been the pick of the bowlers, but I think Shami 6 wickets in Perth, second innings. Ishant has been brilliant the entire 2018. I just felt that Bumrah was overbowled and Ishant was underbowled.
Yeah, let's just hope that doesn't play out in the final test match in Sydney, because as things stand right now, that might just turn out to be a very, very crucial test match for both teams. Okay, we'll take another question, and this one I'll throw to both our analysts in VVS Lakshman and Brad Hodge. Bhupinder Sandhu wants to know, who will be the man of the match? Pat Cummins, who bowled well in both innings and also played handy with the bat, or Pujara for his 100, or Bumrah for his best bowling figures? Brad, I'll let you answer this one first.
Yeah, I think 3-2-1 for me is Bumrah 3 votes, man of the match. Pujara 2 votes, because I think that, you know, he set the game up, and Patrick Cummins, unfortunately, is going to play an unbelievable role, but in a losing game. So they're my 3-2-1.
Okay.
I would go with Pujara. You know, because I think...
Is that a batsman talking?
I mean, if you want to believe that it's the batsman talking, you can believe that. But I think if you see the entire context of the game, you know, the bowlers have dominated. Bowlers from both the sides have dominated. But on the first day, the way Pujara applied himself and that partnership with Virat Kohli was so crucial. You know, and I think the way he tired out the Australian bowlers was equally important. It's not only the 100 he got. So I would say that if you just remove Pujara's knock from this test match, then none of the other batsmen were as impressive as Pujara was, barring Virat Kohli, and now you see Pat Cummins. You know, so I think Pujara's knock, no doubt that Bumrah has been brilliant with the ball, and Pat Cummins, I think his heroics, irrespective of whether Australia will win or lose this test match, will be remembered fondly for a long time.
Okay, finally, Brad, I wanted to ask you this, because we're having a poll on ESPN Cricinfo looking at the next opener for Australia. I'm just looking at the votes for that poll. Most of them voting for Renshaw, followed by Burns. Where are these two guys? Could they be drafted in?
Well, we've got a bit of an issue, because right now it's a big bash time, so we're not playing any 4-day cricket to, you know, see any form. But you know, Burns certainly had more form than Renshaw, but I think both are equally good players. The other thing is, the problem we've had is that the selectors have already selected the 13-man squad for the Melbourne and Sydney test. So we're trying to debate here whether you can actually change that. Apparently not. You can add to the squad, but you can't reduce it or change it. So I'm not sure why that's the case. I was trying to ask Darren Lehman why that happens, but he had no answer. But I think we need to make some changes. However, we should show faith in this squad that they've selected at the start of the tour to finish the tour, and then analyse after that. So I think you've backed Finch in to do a job, whether it was the right call or wrong call. I think we need to see that out and then make an assessment after that.
Okay, interesting thoughts there from Brad. Glad you clarified why that can't really happen at the moment. Time now to turn to a special segment. The Indian team may not have won, but I know one man who's sitting right to my left who's won the day, not quite the competition, but won the day in VVS Lakshman. It's all down to that one bowler from Australia, Pat Cummins, who's pushed VVS Lakshman's total to 286 points. He's got 101 plus 30, and this,
Please
I might
correct
add,
yourself. Is one all-rounder from Australia,
Okay,
not one
correct.
bowler from Australia.
Absolutely, you're bang on. But I must also say, these are the maximum points you've got on a single day of the
Fantastic.
3 test matches that you've been playing the Fab 4. So this has been VVS Lakshman's best day. You thought it was Pat Cummins' best day?
It was
Well,
my
it's,
167 in 99-2000 series.
Sydney.
The first
Yes.
2 matches I didn't score. The last match, 167.
Yes, that was a career-changing inning for
This is
VVS
also
Lakshman.
career-defining as far as the Fab 4 is concerned.
Okay, what this also means is you'll have to...
Audrey is enjoying himself.
what you'd have to do is come back. So Haji is being magnanimous in defeat. He's still laughing and
I've not
smiling.
seen one Australian being magnanimous in defeat.
Okay, Haji with 168 points. He was leading throughout the day. It was that man that he had no faith in. Pat Cummins didn't pick him, and so
He had a
it
faith
is-
in that Victorian,
Yes, he did. So it's
being
100
from
and-
Victoria.
Yes, he went with him. So 168 points for him. Let's quickly take a look at the leaderboard right now.
Sorry,
and
buddy.
it is VVS Lakshman on top with
Sorry, buddy.
798 points to 734 points. Okay, but we haven't had the last word on
Now, I
this.
would like to hear from
Yes, I will.
Audrey. Any reaction?
Okay, your comments first.
I'm devastated. I've thrown away an incomprehensible lead. I mean, I've got tomorrow though. I'm a chance.
Yes, okay. On that subject, you still have a chance.
Neither
to
you nor the Australian team on the ground will have a chance tomorrow.
Oh.
Sorry, Audrey.
So, we've turned on the stump mic. We've turned on the stump
And happy
mic.
birthday, Audrey.
Okay, since you're the birthday boy, I'll give you that privilege of picking the top 4 players for day 5 of the test match. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll pick Bumrah and Shami, Nathan Lyon and Patrick Cummins.
Okay, you know why
What about
VVS is
Hazelwood, buddy?
No.
He's not getting the run, trust me.
Okay, but what that also means is that you can't take the same 4. You have to make one change.
Since it's Audrey's birthday,
Yes.
okay, I would like to follow Audrey.
No, you can't do that. See, then there's no competition. Be fair. You
Okay.
pick at least one or
Okay,
Yeah.
so who did he pick?
no.
Well, I'm not going to take Nathan Lyon. Okay.
Okay,
So I'll
so
still have
he's got
Pat Cummins.
Bumrah.
I mean, he's my race horse, buddy.
Okay, so he's taken Cummins. You've taken
I've
Cummins
taken
too.
Cummins. I've taken Bumrah.
Yeah.
I've
okay.
taken Ishan Sharma.
You've taken Ishant.
I've
okay.
taken Mohammad Shami. You're happy?
Shami. That's
I've
good.
made one
You've
difference.
made 2 changes.
Okay.
2 changes.
Okay.
You've made one Ishant for Lion. Yeah, you've got the Shami. Okay. So
He
that
trusts
one
Lion,
change.
which is
Yeah,
what Australia is all about
Yeah,
today.
maybe he can bring that gap or shorten that gap. Who knows? Day 5 of the test match, he would need Nathan Lyon to bat on the pitch just as Pat Cummins has done for the moment. Brad Hodge, thanks so much for joining us.
Be
We'll let
good.
you go.
Don't be naughty, Audrey.
Yeah, we'll let you go. It's your birthday. Go have a nice dinner now with family. You deserve that after a hard day's work. For the moment, let's turn our attention to another special feature. Remember, we spoke about Selection Day. That's premiering on Netflix. Here's a sneak peek at what you can watch on that.
देखिए सर मेरे दोनों लड़के चैंपियंस
माफ करना भगवान मुझे तो क्रिकेट पसंद भी नहीं है
I guess you'd like to see the cricket field,
नो
but you're on a cricket scholarship.
थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है
लेकिन जब तक तू मेरी मदद नहीं करेगा मैं तेरी मदद नहीं कर पाऊंगा
हमारी डील है तभी हम लोग आज़ादी पाएंगे
I believe him. Selection Day, streaming on 28 December, only on Netflix.
All right, it's already premiered on Netflix. Go and watch Selection Day. For the moment, let's turn our attention to our special segment, Undiscover Australia, brought to you by Tourism Australia. Let's go and see where Shivani Dandekar is today.
We're here at Green Olive at Red Hill, one of Australia's foremost olive plantations and wineries.
We think we'll produce around about between 10 and 15 tonnes of olives. So you can see all the olives here now. Look at that fruit there, that's beautiful.
And what do you do with it all?
So we,
Because it's a lot.
probably about 40% we turn into olive oil and 60% into table olives. So straight off the trees, within 24 hours, it goes down the road and it's pressed there. And that first oil that comes out, we call it cold pressed extra virgin olive oil.
Right.
And Australia makes really, really good olive oil. We're really quite famous for it now. And we also make it into table olives where we use a process over a 6-month period, because if you pick an olive off a tree, it's very bitter, you can't eat it. And when you pick it, so we put it in salt and water, and we change that salt and water over a 6-month period, and it extracts all the bitterness, and then you end up with a really nice olive that you can eat.
Do we get to try some today?
Let's go. It's designed to share, so it's pretty much we bring things out and have groups of people who come along and they share. So we start with this. This is a bit of a taste of everything. Oh, we got more food coming now. Hang on, guys.
Oh my God, I see bruschetta. I'm dying.
So we've got the tomato bruschetta with the potatoes, and we've got the duck mince lettuce cups, and our meatballs with the relish on the side.
God.
Thanks, Hayley. They look great. Beautiful. So our potatoes come from down the flats. They grow a lot of potatoes in this region. Tomatoes are local tomatoes as well, and rocket. The duck is a local duck grower. It's got beetroot relish, which is made here on the farm. Tomato relish, which is our classic relish. And then this is our Wilshire lambs, classic meatball. We opened in 2010 to the public here, and our meatball's been our biggest seller ever. We sell probably 10 bowls of meatball to one of any other dish that we sell at the property. People love the meatballs.
Well, pass it on over.
Get into it, yeah. The only preserve we use in it is natural, which is either sugar or vinegar. We don't put any kind of additives or anything into it.
There is, I just want to say, there is nowhere else I would rather be but right here, right now.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thanks.
I agree with that.
Loving having you.
I need a good nap after that amazing meal, and I'll see you all in Sydney for the next test.
Beautiful sights and sounds of Australia. We're still not done on our show yet. We've got a few more questions for VVS Lakshman, maybe one or two before we let him go. Here's a question that has come from Facebook by Sunil. Who will take the blame if rain washes out play tomorrow and thus denies India a much-deserved victory?
I think you can't blame anyone. I think you have to just give credit to the way Pat Cummins applied this evening, because the way the Indian bowlers toiled and took 8 wickets, and no one expected that Pat Cummins and Nathan Lyon will have that partnership. I think, as far as weather is concerned, that's something which is not in your control.
Yeah.
But I don't think India has done anything wrong as far as decision making is concerned. Everyone will have different viewpoint, but according to me, they've taken the right decision at the right time.
Okay, always wanted to know, when you were part of the dressing room, do you actually have a discussion about weather, or it's just like game situation? Look at the game situation and then decide.
No, you definitely have discussion about the weather conditions. You take the forecast into criteria, but you don't alter your plans too much, because then in effect you're not living in the process and you're thinking too much about the future. So it's very important to focus on the game situation and not to think too much ahead. But you would definitely take into consideration the forecast. Just have a brief idea of what's going to happen, but then that should not influence too much in what current situation the team is in.
All right, completely out of time. VVS Lakshman, thanks so much for your
Thank
company. So 2 targets now to look forward to. India need 2 wickets, 141 runs for Australia. As things stand at the moment, it seems like 2 wickets is a more realistic target to achieve. And in all likelihood, you'll have India go leading 2-1 up when you play in the Sydney Test match. That's all that we have for you. You're watching ESPN Cricket Info Matchday, brought to you by Maruti Suzuki.